it was 29 years ago. And it was a time where I had moved. It was in 96. I moved in 94 from Silver Spring to Annapolis. And for the first 2 years, I commuted back to my original church. But in the 96, I decided that it was time for me to leave. And so I needed to find a new home, but mainly a new place to do my children's ministry. I'd already been teaching the second generation of another of my students at my other church, and that has been my passion and purpose in life. So I needed to first find out if this was the place for me. When I moved, there was a little pamphlet from Reva Trace, and for some reason that had resonated with me. That wasn't one of those God things. And so, consequently, 2 years later, I don't know how, but it must have been another God thing, because I found that when I needed this new church, I knew that this was the first place I would look. Pastor Dennis teases me about it because he had gotten, the day that I visited, an alarm went off because there's this strange lady up in the children's wing, and she's looking into all of the classes. He didn't know about the fact that I was looking. I explained that I was looking for you, but that if there wasn't a place for me to serve in children's ministry, this was not the church that I would be attending. But then I saw amazing things up there. And I saw the spirit in the classroom, and I saw the ministry was flourishing. I said, okay, check. Then I went down to the service, and I heard Pastor Dennis speak. I love the way he speaks and teaches. So I love the way that he actually makes the Bible come alive, and the fact that he also, in the end, shows us how we can apply what we have just learned. And there was not a Sunday that has gone by in 29 years that I haven't been able to find something of real value to expand my Christian life. They called up and said, we need volunteers for the Vacation Bible School. Now, remember, this is my first visit. I checked the box with my pastor. I saw all of the people around, and I saw the joy of Jesus just popping around everywhere. And I said, sign me up. 29 years of being here. Who is the one that made the most difference? Our founding father, Dennis Gray. I want to brag about my pastor. Not only is an amazing teacher and preacher, but he's also a minister. That always does not happen together. We are so fortunate to have had him for these throughout the 35 years he has served. I don't know if many of you know this, but when we were planning our new church, he had the entire congregation walk in a line all the way from the old sanctuary all the way down the street, cross the South River Bridge, as if we were going to the Promised Land. How many people? We stopped traffic. They were police. The line, young and old, able-bodied, and those that could not were being pushed. Our whole church walked in unison towards our new facility. The other thing that he did, which is so remarkable, which many of you people won't know about, is that when we were to dedicate our church, when the foundation was complete, we gathered together, and each of us went to different areas of the foundation. There are prayers written on the foundation and the walls of all this church. you will find that is that joy that comes with you when you're serving and loving and worshiping the Lord. That joy overrides anything in your life, any challenges, any sorrows. And that is why I feel right now the peace, because He has given me that blessing and the joy and privilege of doing it. Don't let this be a secret. Find your place, and this church will allow you to do that. They will help. If you don't know where it is, they will help you explore. They'll give you a test. They'll walk you. They'll let you stick your little toe in the water to see if it's what you want, so you can find that place. But that is what's going to give you true joy. When there was a time when I couldn't walk, Ed would come and pick me up at the door, at the car, get me out. Sandy would bring the wheelchair. Pat would get me into the sanctuary. My friend in the praise team would bring me between services to get me back to the children's wing. And then they would have able-bodied people so that I could do what I needed to do for the Lord, and yet the kids would be safe. And they don't put out to pasture when you get to be a certain age. There may be something that they can still do to serve the Lord. Yes, you always do your best and you come prepared to do, but we are only vessels. Anything that you might... He's been working on me for 74 years. Hopefully there's a little bit of fruit, but I'm still a work in progress. So anything that you might admire about me comes from Him, not from me.
Why children?
That's important for me to tell you. I'm going to give you a little bit of my testimony, and I hope I won't cry because it's very hard for me to talk about. However, if this will help somebody else, I will go and do so. When my precious little daughter was just a toddler, she became critically ill. And she was going in and out of consciousness, and her temperature went off the charts. And for many days she laid on a bed of ice and going in and out of consciousness. And each time I thought I'd lost her. The pediatrician came in and told me these words, and he said, "Mrs. Cummins, I'm very sorry to tell you this, but in the unlikely event that your daughter will survive, she will probably be in a vegetative state. We've done all we possibly can medically, and she's in God's hands." He left, and that's exactly where I placed my daughter. And the peace that passeth all understanding came into my heart. The next day, my daughter totally recovered. This miracle. I was already teaching at that time. But at that moment, I gave a sacred vow to my Lord that I would devote the rest of my life to children's ministry. I cannot save them physically, but I can be part of the process in saving them spiritually. It's been my fervent prayer that He would allow me the joy and privilege to continue to teach until He takes me home. And that looks like it's going to be happening pretty soon. We'll see. So He's answered my prayers, and He's still giving me that peace that passes all understanding. And when my mission is complete, then I will be ready and willing to go to my heavenly home.